Hey everyone, what's happening? So, yeah, look, I'm going to freestyle this video a little bit more than I normally do, and there might be people watching that going, you don't normally freestyle the videos, Paul, because you chat a lot of shit. Normally I do put a bit more thought into this, but it's something that's quite raw at the moment. Last night Liverpool drew 1-1 with West Ham United off the back of a 1-1 draw with Leicester City prior to that. And there's loads of talk around that Liverpool have bottled the league title race, or the title race is over, and all this kind of stuff. And maybe it's just me, but I disagree. I find talk like that really weird, really baffling, and just madly defeatist. And look, put myself out there a lot, put my face on camera, I talk a lot. Maybe I come across as a particularly confident person or whatever. I'm not, not all the time, certainly. And I haven't always been a total glass half full person over all aspects of life. So I wonder whether I should feel more downbeat about everything when I see a volume of people whose opinions I kind of look at and I don't agree with, but they're very vociferous in having those opinions, and there's a lot of people and a lot of noise. I go, have I got this wrong? Am I on the wrong side of things? Have I misjudged this? Am I being a bit too, red tinted glasses wearing here? And am I being a bit deluded in my thinking or following of this situation? Have Liverpool totally fucked it up? Are Liverpool on a slippery slope to yet another abyss of, bottling things and slipping up and becoming having another meme season, being another Slippy G, Andrea Shavin style thing? So I've been thinking about it, and I've been talking about it. I've been talking about it with other people in and around the Red Men offices and what have you, and guests and that coming in, and family and all that kind of stuff. And I don't see it. I get it. I get the annoyance. I get disappointment, and I get a bit of anger, because anger's not too much of it's a hop, skip and a jump away from irritation, isn't it, to be perfectly honest? Particularly if you are, if you're having a bad day or a bad week or other things are winding up, or people are winding up and people are poking at you. And if you're online in particular Twitter and YouTube comments and in the footballing community, there are people constantly poking at you, whether they're poking at you deliberately or their shit opinions filter into your timeline and they're there in front of you and they just get under your skin with just some absolute horseshit. It is easy to jump from being relatively okay with the situation to be full blown over the top wound up by some. I get it all the time. I've got 2 kids. I get overreactions, trust me. And maybe it's a thing that comes with a little bit of age and experience to some extent. I don't know, because I'm not that old and I'm not that experienced, but I am more than some people, that I'm able to put a little bit more context to it. And that's maybe what's settling the nerves for me a bit, because it's 9 years since I started doing Red Men. It'll be 10 years, not this summer coming, the summer after. Coming up on a decade of my life, like intensively, microscopically focusing on Liverpool Football Club and talking about them week in, week out. And, and I can't help but look at the context of where Liverpool have been over that space of time. That informs my thoughts, feelings, opinions or whatever around the current Liverpool side. And I think a lot of people do that, but I think you can do that and look at in a weird way. So you can look at all the things that have gone wrong in that time and go, that's evidence as to why the current team are going to go down the pan and what have you. I don't think it works that way, because I think we're talking about mutually exclusive events. Steven Gerrard falling over against Chelsea has no impact on what happens in Liverpool versus West Ham. It doesn't. It maybe has an impact in some of our mindsets, but it doesn't impact the players on the pitch. It has no impact whatsoever on that 0.000%. However, what I do when I look at where Liverpool are and when I see people losing their heads, I have watched a lot of people lose their heads online, especially. I haven't seen a lot of people lose their heads in person. And I mentioned this on a video the other week about how Liverpool fans don't tend to overreact. And I had people in the comments go, Liverpool fans don't overreact. Oh, lol. Online is different to in reality. I talk about like Arsenal Fan TV, the way they have loads of characters who come in and they get that angry and effusive and blah, blah, blah on front of camera. I've been outside Anfield for years and years and years now, and we've never really come across those type of people. That's what I mean by that. The Liverpool fans that I meet in real life aren't necessarily that way. bottom line, yeah, absolutely. So when I see a massive weight of reaction, a weight of negative reaction, I compare it to when I've seen it in the past. And what I've come to the conclusion is, again, online, predominantly, you see these reactions blown up over all kinds and largely over absolutely fucking nothing. Because the reaction I'm seeing right now is as big a reaction, negative reactions I've seen to things like sacking Brendan Rodgers when we were ready to get rid of Brendan Rodgers, or at the back end of the season when we got twatted by Stoke in Steven Gerrard's last game away from home and it was a catastrophic end to the season, or when we absolutely rolled over and had our bellies tickled by Aston Villa in an FA Cup semi-final. Oh my God, when we had Roy Hodgson in charge, except to be fair, that was a bit more of a unified and trustworthy weight behind that anger. So when I see the anger in this particular circumstance, and I see particularly Liverpool fans, and I trust that these people are Liverpool fans, and I don't think it's constructive to say if you're upset about Liverpool and you're fearful of Liverpool and you're a bit angry about Liverpool's situation that you're not a Liverpool fan somehow, because that's not true. You can be a Liverpool fan, you can be a diehard Liverpool fan, and more often than not, diehard fans and fanatics do have stronger emotional reactions to things. That's simply a way of life, because it's a bigger part of your life, of course. That's a natural thing to be expected. But when I see people losing their heads over this, I can't help but remember that we used to have Roy Hodgson as our manager, and we used to have Hicks and Gillette as our owners, and we used to have players like Christian Poulsen, and our record signing was Andy Carroll. We never used to spend big money on wages, and we used to have a much 10,000 less fans in Anfield, and we used to be linked with just absolute dross. We get Joe Cole on a free transfer and think it was an exceptional piece of business. Joe Cole. And I look at us now and we got to a Champions League final and people go, well, we lost the Champions League final. We did. But a lot of the people outside of Liverpool who are laughing at Liverpool for losing in a Champions League final have never, ever seen their clubs. Not only never seen their clubs in a Champions League final, their clubs have actually never been in a Champions League final. So as far as I think about their opinions, it's because don't take people's opinions on things that they haven't experienced themselves, or at least don't take them to heart. They're entitled to have those opinions. Of course, well, but opinions are like arseholes. They're not special. Everyone's got one. And more often than not, shit comes out of them. That's the primary function, if you really think about it. Primary. So am I downbeat about Liverpool's current situation? Yeah, I am. Because we had the opportunity only a few weeks ago. If we'd beaten Man City, we'd have had a 10-point gap. 10-point gap. When Liverpool haven't won a league title for 29 years, and that would have been so many steps closer to guaranteeing that to being. You can start to book your holidays, and you can start to think about it, you can start to taste it, and you can start to think about, what's it going to look like? And when we're going to have 19 is going to be a big number in our lives all of a sudden. There's going to be an open top bus parade. Am I going to get to see this? Where am I going to position myself along the route? And all these flights of fancy that naturally follow. Yeah. It's a long season. It's a long season. Mad things happen. Mad things have already happened. Man City were supposed to go unbeaten this season. When we were chasing them, our biggest fear was that Liverpool were going to go unbeaten all season and we were still going to finish second in the league. And then Man City lost back-to-back games. Man City lose games of football, have lost games of football, will probably lose more games of football. That's mad shit. It's mad shit that right now you can't account for. I can't sit here and go, Man City are going to lose games indefinitely. But what we've seen is evidence that it's possible. And for me, that is a note of massive encouragement. So when I look at it now, I'm disappointed because I just want Liverpool to win a title. I want it so bad. You can't fathom how much I want it to win, because, and this is a no sympathy for Paul's situation, by the way, I've crafted my fucking life around this football club. Again, I'm not asking, I don't deserve Liverpool to win things, but you cannot appreciate how desperate I am for it, because, I've been doing this week in, week out. I've had to cover so much dross. And as I say, I haven't had to. It's my choice. No sympathy for Paul. # no sympathy for Paul. Paul's a bell end for choosing this as his career. But trust me when I say I am fucking gagging for a title. I am as desperate as any human being can possibly be to see Liverpool win a title. There'll be loads of other people who are also desperate and gagging for it, but you cannot want it more than I want it. You can't. There is no more want or need in this universe. You can want it as much as me, but you cannot want it more than me. So trust that I feel deflated by the fact that a chance to go many, many more points clear of Man City to make things a little bit more easy on ourselves has kind of slipped between our fingers to some extent. But the notion that it's over, the notion that Liverpool have bottled it right here, right now is, and people like to talk in absolutes on the internet all the time, often not based in fact. I can say this right now, here, today, the day after Liverpool drew to West Ham, 1-1 in the league, Liverpool have not bottled the title. The title is not lost. Liverpool are 3 points clear at the top of the league. Things can change. Yes, they can. Of course they can. They can. It's a simple fact in life. Everything can change. Everything exists in possibility because that is the wonder and magic of life, let alone football. And that is the sport, moreover, that we are into, we have bought into. And if you're bought into football, and if you're bought into Liverpool, and if you're bought into the notion of Liverpool being in a title race, then you're going to have to accept that it is going to be a stressful ride. That Liverpool are not going to get everything their own way. Liverpool are not going to win every game of the season 5-0 and stay top of the league forever and every team fall away. It simply does not happen that way. I don't know why I went a bit Italian there, but it does not happen that way. This is what it is. This is the season we're in. This is what we're doing. Things so far, yes, there's been a little few dips, but even with those dips, Liverpool are on top. The trick is not to worry what's gone before, because we didn't win it earlier in the season. We didn't win it when we were 7 points clear. It wasn't won then. It's not won now. Same way as it's not lost now. So, woosah, anything, deep breaths, thoughts, positivity. If you fancy it, if you don't fancy it, keep it to yourself or seek help. Seek counsel. Let's get in all this together. Let's try our best to enjoy this. It's not enjoyable. It's not going to be fun. The fun comes at the end. If we are all able to provide even a fractional advantage to the club by being a bit more upbeat about it, then that is the barely tangible thing that we can contribute towards this season. And if that is the fine margin by which this season is won, I want us to come to the end of the season as me as a supporter and hopefully you as a fan as well, knowing that you poured everything you possibly could, even though realistically we have very little impact on it. Although that being said, let's be honest, if you fucking shout horrible shit at people, they are more likely to have difficulty doing whatever it is they're doing than if you're patting them on the back and giving them encouragement. Think about it. Think about life. Now, I'm sorry if you've never had that in your life. That doesn't mean it's not true. It just means you've never had it in your life. Anyway, it feels like poo. I'd rather not have to talk about Liverpool. I'd rather not have to do all these things. I want to bury my head in the sand, but I won't, because there's just too many people. I think negativity is running riot, and too many people are being allowed to think that that is how we should feel, that we should feel downbeat about the situation. No, we should not. We should be made up with where we are, but not to the point of like it's done and dusted, because it's not done and dusted. Let's keep going. Let's dust ourselves down. Let's go. Let's fight. Let's scrap. Let's claw. Let's sing. Let's shout. Let's do all the things, all the little teeny tiny imperceptible things that we can do, and see where we lie at the end of the season. Trust that this football club might do it. It might do it. It might not do it, but it might do it. And that might is the best we've had in a very fucking long time. So I, for one, am going to try to take that as a positive rather than a potential negative. Yeah. Listen, thanks. If you enjoyed this video and it's mattered to you in any way, shape or form, and you feel like it'll help others, please do feel free to share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Vlogs and all that kind of stuff. In the past coming up, I did one about why everyone hates Liverpool a few days ago, and why it's just people are just knobheads who think that. So if you need that, go and watch that video as well. Other than that, I am Paul Machin. This is Mates TV. Subscribe and I'll see you all very, very soon. Cheers.